Hello, 3-4 Go. Welcome to week 3 of Art with Cha on the internet. Thank you for their fantastic artwork submissions from last week. This week will be our third and final dedicated exploration of value for the time being. Our activity today has two goals. The first goal is to express a wide range of value using only line techniques. The second goal is to use different values in a drawing to create a sense of dimension. You will need paper, pencil, maybe an eraser, a pen, or some other bold mark-making tool. You don't have to use a black pen. You could definitely use another color or a fine marker if you would like. If you only have a pencil, that's fine. Just think about making all your pencil lines consistently dark. These are the 3 line techniques that I would like you to experiment with today. The first is hatching. Hatching is a technique for creating value by drawing a lot of lines that are parallel. The second technique, cross-hatching, is just like hatching, but then you draw a second layer of parallels that will cross over the first set. So you are crossing your hatches to make an area filled with a different value. And scribbling. Scribbling is just kind of what it sounds like. The use of squiggly continuous line to fill an area. I would like you to make a value scale for each of these methods, like so. For each technique, I have made 5 rectangles, and much like the value scale that I made on our value landscapes, you're going to leave the first square totally white. And you're going to go to the last square and you're going to make it as dark as possible using the method you want to go into the middle value and find an in-between between the totally blank square and the dark square. So then I'm going to find in between here, something between this and that. And this can get, it's a little trickier with just line to find those in-betweens. So these are kind of blending together, although you can see this is definitely going from kind of lighter overall to a little darker to the darkest. And then here I will do even more spaced out. And you'll notice this is all about using the same kind of line. I'm not pushing any harder or less with my marker. I'm just using the amount of line in the space to show light or dark. Here is my hatching value scale. Do the same thing with cross hatching and with scribbling and see what happens. The distance between your lines, whether it's your hatch marks or your scribbles, determines how light or dark that area of a drawing looks. Lines that are far apart will make an area appear lighter, while lines that are really close together and overlapped a lot will make an area look darker. Italian artist Giorgio Morandi was a master at using line to create areas of different value in his work. This etching is called Large Still Life with Coffee Pot. Look closely to see the different areas of hatching and cross-hatching that he used to make these objects have a sense of dimension. In Still Life with 5 Objects, notice how Morandi left the lightest areas where light might be reflecting off the side of a bottle, completely blank. And his darkest areas, the areas of the most shadow, have many layers of cross-hatching. Let's make our own still life drawings using the 3 simple line techniques that I just showed you. First, go find something to be your subject. I recommend something simple like a piece of fruit or a small vase or a bowl or a mug. Next, check out the lights where you are working. This exercise can be a little easier if you only have one source of light in the room, like just a single lamp or just sun from the window. Once you have your object, you are going to use your pencil to very, very lightly outline the basic shape. You want to be able to ignore or erase these pencil lines later, so please make just very, very light marks. So for my pear, I've got a basic circle area and kind of a little mountain on top. Again, these are very, very, very light outlines. You should barely be able to see them. You can also add a couple other details like there. I know I'm going to make note of where the stem is. Again, using only very, very light marks with your pencil, you're going to start taking note and observing where the lightest and the darkest parts of your object are. So my pear right here has a big bright spot right where the light is hitting it. So on my drawing, I am going to just kind of outline that. That's going to be my highlight area, and I'm gonna leave that part totally blank. My pear also has a really dark spot over here, so I'll outline that for now. And do not forget to take note of the shadows. Get your mark making tool and start to fill in your darkest areas with as much hatching or cross hatching or scribbling as you can. Now, referring to the value scales that you just made using line, find regions of your drawing to give those different values to. So I'm going to use cross hatching for my pear, and I'm going to put this really dark spot, I'm going to try to put this value. I'm not going to outline my drawing at all. I'm going to just let the different value regions speak for themselves. So I am very tempted to use my marker to just put this edge of the pear in, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to see how my value regions hold up. So I'm going to leave this area blank. This is the darkest part of my pear. Now I'm going to find some other areas of light and dark in between, and I'm going to match them up to some of these middle tones that I found. So, and you can be pretty arbitrary with this. If you are having trouble making out differences on your pear, you can just kind of make it up yourself, because you are the artist. You get to make these decisions. You can use the pear for reference, but feel free to fictionalize if you want more contrast. Next, I'm going to color everything in my pear except this highlight area with this next to lightest tone. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to make some of these areas darker just by adding more lines in between. So I have my highlighted pair right here. This area is a little bit lighter. This section is going to be kind of my middle section, so I'll just add more hash marks to this zone. And I can see that there's a little bit of dark here, so I'll just add some more hash marks here. And I think this area of my pear is a little darker than this area, so again, I'm just gonna add some more hash marks to darken it up. But it's not quite as dark as this part up there. This is a little bit dark here. I'm also going to do my pear stem. So right along here there's a little darkness, but then there's lightness. So I'm just going to hash the very front of the stem, leave that area blank, and then fill in that part of the stem too. Think about including different values with a line technique that you didn't already use to fill in your backdrop. Maybe making a horizontal line somewhere to differentiate and make a tabletop and a background. If you didn't use scribbling, maybe use scribbling up here and just plain hashing down here, and just see if you can use all these different line techniques to achieve different feelings of value. This can really help your objects stand out from the background. Especially if you have a light value, you can make this whole thing pop by putting a medium or darker value behind it. Try erasing your original pencil lines to see how well you did using value to make things pop. Value will always be a part of the art that we create or look at, so keep thinking about it and noticing it. As always, please email me a picture of your work, and you'll see me again next week.